Good morning, children. Today, I, Shalini Sinha, is here to present the second chapter of Moments, The Adventures of Toto, written by Ruskin Bond. First of all, we'll look at the theme. What is the theme of this story? The Adventures of Toto is an amusing story by Ruskin Bond highlighting the antics of a mischievous monkey. This story is very funny, very hilarious, and it tells about the foolish and funny behavior of a very naughty monkey. It shows that not all animals can adapt themselves to the human way of life. All animals cannot follow what humans tell them if they are tamed. So, it requires a great deal of skill and patience to train animals to be non-destructive. This monkey is very destructive. So, if a destructive animal is made a pet, it is very difficult to keep them or keep it with us. If we really wish to keep such an animal with us, it requires a great deal of skill and patience to train such an animal. Next is about the author. Ruskin Bond is an Indian author of British descent. He belonged to the British parents. He was born to a British parent. Most of his works are influenced by life in the hill station where he spent his childhood. He was born in 1934 in Kasauli in Himachal Pradesh. That's why most of his works are influenced by life in the hill station. At the age of 17, he authored his first novel, The Room on the Roof. At such a small age, he wrote his first novel, The Room on the Roof. The Indian Council for Child Education has recognized his role in the growth of children's literature in India, and he was awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra, his novel in English. He was also awarded the Padma Shri in 1999 and the Padma Bhushan in 2014. Such a very eminent and wonderful author Ruskin Bond is. Next is the message of this story, where you can see the picture of a naughty monkey. We should care for animals and treat them with love and respect. This is very obvious for human beings to take care of animals and treat them with love and respect, because they are also living beings. But we cannot afford to take care of such a pet which is highly destructive. Can we afford to keep such a pet which is highly destructive? I don't think so. For such pets, special training or special handling is required. So this is the message of this story. We have completed the theme, the message, and something about the author. Please go through it and try to learn. Let us start the chapter. The Adventures of Toto. It starts with, have you ever had a baby monkey as a pet? Have you ever imagined to keep a monkey as a pet? I don't think so. The general pets are cow, horses, dogs, even sometimes cats are also tamed, but not a monkey. Here you are going to know about Toto, who is a baby monkey. Toto is a baby monkey. Let's find out whether he is mischievous or docile. When you go through the text, you'll come to know whether this monkey was a very naughty one or could be easily handled. Here, grandfather bought Toto from a Tonga driver for the sum of 5 rupees. The Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough, and the monkey looked so out of place there that grandfather decided he would add the little fellow to his private zoo. Grandfather of the author took or bought this monkey, this baby monkey, from a Tonga driver because he was fond of keeping pets. He was fond of animals, and he bought it for the sum of 5 rupees only because he found that Tonga driver keeping this little red monkey tied to a feeding trough, and the monkey was always looked so out of place there that the grandfather did not like, and he wanted to purchase it. At last he bought it. Toto was a pretty monkey. He was a beautiful monkey. His bright eyes sparkled with mischief beneath deep set eyebrows, and his teeth, which were a pearly white, were very often displayed in a smile that frightened the life out of elderly Anglo-Indian ladies. Toto was a pretty monkey. He had a very sparkling eyes, and his sparkling eyes always speak of his mischief. He had pearly white teeth, and very often the teeth were displayed when he smiled and frightened the elderly Anglo-Indian ladies. He had a big smile at that moment. So you can see how mischievous this small monkey is. But his hands looked dried up as though they had been pickled in the sun for many years. He had very thin hands. His hands were very thin, as if his hands were dried up in the sun. Yet his fingers were quick and wicked. His fingers were very swift, and his tail, while adding to his good looks, also served as a third hand. So his fingers were wicked, and he often used his tail as a third hand. He could use it to hang from a branch, and it was capable of scooping up any delicacy that might be out of reach of his hands. How swift his tail was. He used his tail for hanging from a branch. He used his tail for snatching any kind of dish which is out of the reach of his hands. This shows that he was very clever. Grandmother always fussed when grandfather brought home some new bird or animal. We have already come to know that grandfather was very fond of keeping pets. But grandmother never liked so many animals and birds to be kept. When this monkey was brought, she disliked. Whenever any kind of animal or bird was brought home, she always fussed about it. So it was decided that Toto's presence should be kept a secret from her until she was in a particularly good mood. She'd never liked any kind of bird or animal to be brought home. So when this Toto was brought, it was decided that it should be kept secret from her. Grandfather and I put him away in a little closet opening into my bedroom wall, where he was tied securely, or so we thought, to a peg fastened into the wall. So what the author and his grandfather decided? They decided that this monkey would be kept in a little closet opening into the author's bedroom, and there it was tied securely to a peg. A few hours later, when grandfather and I came back to release Toto, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornamental paper chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked brick and plaster. After a few hours, when they returned to see this small monkey, they found that he had done some mischief. And what he did, what he had done, the wall, which was covered with some ornamental paper, was nowhere. The wall, the paper was removed, and there was the naked brick and plaster. The peg in the wall had been wrenched from its socket, and the peg to which the monkey was fastened was twisted from its socket. And to his astonishment, the next mischief was his school blazer in shreds. My school blazer, which had been hanging there, was in shreds. The school blazer was torn into pieces. I wondered what grandmother would say. Now the author was very unhappy to see this, and he thought what his grandmother would tell him. But grandfather didn't worry. Grandfather took this mischief very, very simple. He seemed pleased with Toto's performance. He was rather happy, and he took it as one of his performances. What is his compliment? Just see. "He's clever," said grandfather. "Given time, I'm sure he could have tied the torn pieces of your blazer into a rope and made his escape from the window." What an imagination of the grandfather. What a compliment of the grandfather. He said that this Toto is really very clever. If he had been given time, he would have made a rope out of the torn pieces of your blazer, and he would have run away from the window. So this is another performance he could have shown. His presence in the house still a secret. Toto was now transferred to a big cage in the servants' quarters, where a number of grandfather's pets lived very sociably together. His presence was still a secret in the house. But now he was transferred to a big cage from that small closet. The cage in the servants' quarters, where a number of grandfather's pets lived very sociably together, where there were many pets lived very sociably. There were a tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a tame squirrel, and for a while my pet goat. So tortoise, squirrel, rabbits, various kinds of pets were there. But the monkey wouldn't allow any of his companions to sleep at night. But when this monkey was brought into that cage, he did not allow any of his companions to sleep properly at night. So, grandfather, who had to leave Dehradun next day to collect his pension in Saharanpur, decided to take him along. Grandfather thought that this mischievous monkey would not allow anyone to stay safely, stay in peace. So he took him along with himself to Saharanpur. Unfortunately, I could not accompany grandfather on that trip. The author did not go with his grandfather, but he told me about it afterwards. But what happened during the journey, there is a description of that. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Toto. His grandfather took a big black canvas kit bag for keeping Toto. This, with some straw at the bottom, became his new abode. When the bag was closed, there was no escape. So he was kept in that big bag, and from where he could not escape. Toto could not get his hands through the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. It was very difficult for Toto to get his hands through the opening of that canvas bag, and he even could not make a hole in that bag. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about on the floor or occasionally jump into the air, an exhibition that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers on the Dehradun railway platform. When he could not come out of the bag, when he could not make a hole in the bag or make any opening in the bag, what he did, he started rolling about on the floor, and that rolling bag was a piece of attraction for the onlookers on the Dehradun railway platform. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur, but while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur. He was in the bag, but at the time of producing the ticket at the railway turnstile. What do you mean by turnstile, children? Turnstile is a mechanical gate from where only one person can move. So at this gate, when he was showing his ticket to the ticket collector, this mischievous monkey poked his head out of the bag and looked at the ticket collector with a wide grin. Means he was laughing. The poor man was taken aback. The poor man was very much astonished. But with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you." That ticket collector annoyed the grandfather by saying that you had a dog with you. You will have to pay for it accordingly. You have to pay the charges for his travel. In vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog or even as a quadruped. Now the grandfather was regretting why he had shown, why he had taken out Toto of the bag. It was so useless. It was useless to try to prove that monkey that who did not qualify as a dog. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector, and 3 rupees was the sum handed over as his fare. Ticket collector took the charge of Toto's travel. And what was the charge? 3 rupees. Then grandfather, just to get his own back, took from his pocket our pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this, since you charge for all animals?" Grandfather was a little annoyed. He took out the tortoise from his pocket and asked the fare of the tortoise. The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look and said, "No charge, it's not a dog." The ticket collector also was a very interesting man. He looked at the tortoise and he said in a victorious manner that there was no charge for the tortoise. Why? Because it is not a dog. Means the tortoise was a very small animal. It is not just like the monkey. When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in the stable. So the journey to Saharanpur was very interesting, very amusing. After that, finally, Toto was accepted by the grandmother and he was given a comfortable home in the stable. He was brought to the stable where he had for a companion the family donkey, Nana. He was brought to the stable where he had to stay with the donkey whose name was Nana. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. So grandfather came to the stable that night to find whether he was comfortable or not. To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent cause pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. He was very surprised to see that Toto was pulling at her strap and not allowing her to eat hay. Toto was trying to keep Nana away from the bundle of hay. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches and she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. He had fastened on to her long ears with his sharp little teeth. Nana was given a big slap on her haunches and she jerked back, she came back. As he did so, Toto was dragged with her because Toto had fastened onto her long ears with his sharp little teeth. He was holding her long ears with his sharp little teeth. See? So destructive. He did not allow Nana to eat its food. He was disturbing her. Toto and Nana never became friends. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evenings was a large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. Grandmother took great care of Toto. So in the or during cold winter evenings, he was given a large bowl of warm water for his bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into the bath, first one foot, then the other, until he was into the water up to his neck. He was so clever. Toto was so intelligent, so clever, that he used to test the temperature of water with his hand. And when he found that the water was not very hot, he gradually stepped into the bath, first one foot, then the other foot, until he was into the water up to his neck. This is how he used to test the temperature of the water. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over. So he used to take his bath himself, rubbing soap in his hands or feet and then all over his body. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. When his bath was completed, he used to go to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. This is how he used to take his bath. If anyone laughed at him during this performance, Toto's feelings would be hurt and he would refuse to go on with his bath. We cannot think that animals are not sensitive. They are very sensitive. They understand the feelings of others. They understand the compliments, even the compliments. So when he was laughed at during this performance, means running from his bath to the kitchen fire, he would be hurt and he would refuse to go on with his bath. One day, Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. How? Let us see. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. He used to take bath in the kitchen when the grandmother stood there. But one day, when a large kitchen kettle was left on the fire to boil for tea, he went over there and decided to remove the lid of the kettle. Finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he got in with his head sticking out from the open kettle. When he found that the water was not very much hot, it was warm enough for a bath, he got in, and in doing so, his head was stuck out from the open kettle. This was just fine for a while. For a moment it was fine. It was not very scorching, or it was not very hot. He was comfortable for a moment until the water began to boil, because by that time the water was not very hot. But when it started boiling, what was the feeling of Toto? See, Toto then raised himself a little. He raised his head a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. Outside temperature was cold, so he sat down again. He continued hopping up and down for some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him half boiled out of the kettle. Now he was unable to come out from the kettle. So what happened? He started hopping up and down for some time. When the grandmother arrived, she saw this pathetic scene. Somehow she pulled him out, but by that time Toto was half boiled. If there is a part of the brain specially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. Toto was very mischievous. You have seen in every activity or everywhere he showed his mischievous activity, whether he was at the railway platform, whether he was in the kitchen, or whether he was kept in the stable or in the cage. Everywhere he did some mischief. So here the author had a very wonderful observation. What is that? If there is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. Means, if a part of the brain is made for doing mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. He was always tearing things to pieces. He was very destructive. He never kept anything in its proper shape. He, he made things in a poor condition. He brought things in poor condition. He tore everything. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. See, he did not leave anyone. If elderly people came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. Means he knew how to wear and tear things. One day at lunchtime, this is a very funny incident. One day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. Pulao, you know, is fried rice. So pulao was made and it was kept in the center of the dining table. And all the family members gathered there. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. So when the family members moved to the dining table, what was the scene? They saw Toto eating vigorously the whole pulao. My grandmother screamed and Toto threw a plate at her. When the grandmother screamed, she shouted. What Toto did? He threw that plate at her. He threw a plate at her, not the plate of the pulao. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in the face. When another aunt rushed towards him, he threw a glass of water. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through a window. At the sight of grandfather, Toto took the dish of pulao and moved out through a window. We found him in the branches of the jackfruit tree, the dish still in his arms. Now he went to the tree. He climbed. He was just in the branches of the jackfruit tree, holding the dish of pulao in his arms. He remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. And there he was, very delightfully eating every grain of that pulao. And then, in order to spite grandmother, who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree. and after finishing his eatable, he threw the dish down from the tree in order to take revenge from the grandmother who screamed at him and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. And afterwards, it was very much delightful to see the 100 pieces of that plate. Obviously, Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long. Such a destructive pet cannot be kept for a very long period of time. Even grandfather realized that. The grandfather who was fond of keeping animals. He was also tired of this mischievous monkey. He also observed, he also realized that such sort of pet could not be kept for long. We were not well to do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpaper. We were not well to do, means we were not so rich that we could replace the dishes, the clothes, curtains, and wallpaper every time. It was very difficult. So, grandfather found a Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. So at last, grandfather decided to sell Toto back to Tonga driver, and he did so. And he did so and sold him for only 3 rupees. So this was the end of, or you can say this is the end of the story, where this destructive monkey was given back to Tonga driver. The reason was he was very damaging. He damaged so many things of grandfather. That old man who was so fond of keeping animals. So you have seen how a mischievous pet has completely changed the thinking and the experience of a man who was fond of keeping pets. Okay, children, so go through the story again and again, try to understand, try to remember the different incidents of, or you can say different mischievous activities of Toto. This is important. Go through the difficult words, write them in your notebook and learn the meanings. Okay, thank you.